Yes, so BYD have announced that their newest EV platform is going to be capable of charging at up to 1 megawatt of power, which is really an unprecedented jump forward for the passenger vehicle market.
What does it mean when one company builds the largest electric vehicle factory the world has ever seen? For BYD, it signals a bold move to reshape the global auto industry and challenge everything we thought we knew about EV production. The Giga factory isn't just big, it's a strategic power play designed to shift the balance in BYD's favor, and it's already forcing competitors to rethink their next steps. So how did BYD pull this off, and what does it mean for the future of electric vehicles? Let's take a closer look. From batteries to the big league. To really understand how BYD managed to leapfrog some of the world's most established automakers, you have to rewind the clock to where it all started. The year was 1995, and Wang Chuanfu, a brilliant chemist with little capital but enormous ambition, launched BYD with just 20 employees and a vision few could understand. Back then, BYD wasn't in the car business, it was in the battery business. A low-profile company that quietly fueled the tech boom from behind the curtain, supplying batteries to just about every mobile phone brand that mattered, from Nokia to Motorola and beyond. You didn't know it, but BYD was in your pocket the whole time. But Wang Chuanfu wasn't interested in staying behind the curtain. In 2003, he made a move so bold that many industry insiders rolled their eyes. He acquired a struggling state-owned car manufacturer. At the time, China's auto industry was dominated by legacy players and electric vehicles were considered a pipe dream. Gas was cheap, hybrids were niche, and Teslas were still years away from making headlines. But Wang didn't just want to build cars, he was playing a longer game, one where the combustion engine faded into history and clean energy took over the highways. That decision, which once looked like a miscalculation, turned out to be the foundation of a new industrial empire. Fast forward to today and BYD isn't just a car maker, it's a full-stack, vertically integrated giant. A company that doesn't just assemble electric vehicles, but actually creates them from the ground up. Every piece of the EV puzzle, from the lithium iron phosphate batteries to the electric motors to the semiconductor chips that control vehicle performance, BYD builds in-house. And that's where the scale comes in. This isn't just a factory, it's a self-contained ecosystem, a mega campus so sprawling that it might as well have its own postal code. Every department, every production line, every R&D team operates within a few steps of each other. So when global competitors hit supply chain bottlenecks, BYD doesn't wait for chips to arrive on a cargo ship or hunt down battery suppliers, they just send a technician down the hall. This level of vertical integration gives BYD a massive strategic edge. It dramatically cuts costs, shortens production times, and eliminates the guesswork that slows down competitors. While others pivot and delay launches due to semiconductor shortages or rising material prices, BYD keeps its foot on the accelerator, outpacing rivals not just with volume, but with consistency. They aren't reacting to the market, they are steering it. And perhaps the most impressive part, BYD has done this quietly, without the media fanfare that surrounds names like Tesla or Rivian. While others make headlines with prototypes, BYD builds cars at scale, real cars, on real roads, for real customers. This factory doesn't clock out at 5 p.m. It runs like an entire city, complete with dormitories, schools, restaurants, and recreational centers for employees. There are tens of thousands of workers here, many of whom live on site. It's about creating a full ecosystem where talent is nurtured, retained, and optimized for long-term production goals. BYD builds a workforce that never has to leave the property. Compared to other EV giants, BYD's model is unique. Tesla's factories are high-tech, no doubt, but they often rely on partnerships and third-party suppliers. BYD's factory, on the other hand, is like a high-functioning cult of efficiency. If Tesla is sleek and polished, then BYD is massive, relentless, and quietly taking over everything. The sheer scale allows BYD to experiment, improve, and scale up production faster than almost anyone else in the game. What happens in Giga doesn't stay in Giga. This factory is a blueprint for the future of EV manufacturing. With global demand for electric vehicles expected to skyrocket over the next decade, companies that can produce at scale without bottlenecks will lead the charge. BYD is building the infrastructure to power a global shift, and they are doing it without waiting for anyone's permission. This is a story about how China's EV titan quietly built an empire while the rest of the world was still stuck in traffic. The moment BYD went all in. In 2022, BYD made a move that seemed risky on the surface but turned out to be a masterstroke. The company decided to stop making traditional gas-powered cars entirely. While most automakers were still hedging their bets, BYD pushed all its chips into electric and hybrid technology. They were the first major automaker in the world to fully abandon internal combustion engines. A lot of people thought it was a gamble. Turns out it was a jackpot. Just 1 year later, in 2023, the numbers told the story. BYD sold over 3 million vehicles, an 80% jump from the previous year. The company pulled in $85 billion in revenue, nearly doubling Tesla's sales volume for the same period. Tesla clocked in at around 1.8 million cars. That's not just growth, that's a full-blown takeover. Now shift the focus to the heart of BYD's electric revolution, Giga. This is where the strategy lives and breathes. BYD's mega factory sits in Henan province, smack in the middle of China, and that's no accident. This location is pure logistical gold. Henan lies at the intersection of key national highways and railway lines. That means faster deliveries, lower shipping costs, and direct access to nearly every part of China. It also gives BYD a clear advantage when it comes to global exports. Because of this central placement, BYD saves roughly 20% in transportation costs compared to manufacturers operating out of coastal cities. That's a huge chunk of change in a business where every percentage point counts. The benefits of this location go deeper, literally. Henan sits on some of the world's richest reserves of lithium and rare earth metals, which are crucial for making electric vehicle batteries. That proximity gives BYD better control over its raw materials and protects them from the unpredictable world of global supply chains. They're not stuck waiting for ships or negotiating with foreign suppliers, they just bring it in from next door. To make the deal even sweeter, local governments have rolled out the red carpet. BYD received $500 million in tax breaks, subsidies, and support for infrastructure. But it didn't stop there. The government also upgraded rail lines leading directly to Shanghai's major export terminals. This cuts down shipping times and makes international delivery far smoother. BYD has also invested in turning Giga into a full-scale smart manufacturing base. The facility integrates AI-powered systems for real-time decision-making across logistics, production, and inventory management. Sensors embedded throughout the plant monitor equipment performance, material flow, and environmental factors like temperature and humidity, all feeding into a centralized control hub. This allows instant adjustments and predictive maintenance, reducing downtime and waste. Beyond automation, Giga is also home to BYD's flagship R&D complex, focused on next-generation battery tech and vehicle software. The site is developing solid-state battery prototypes and exploring vehicle-to-grid energy systems, technologies that could transform not just how cars drive, but how they interact with the energy grid. BYD isn't just thinking about batteries and trains, they're also thinking long-term about who's going to run all this tech. That's why they've partnered with universities and research centers in Giga. Thousands of students are being trained in battery chemistry, artificial intelligence, and advanced manufacturing systems. The goal isn't just to create jobs, it's to build a future-ready workforce that can keep the company ahead of the curve for years to come. Many of these students transition directly into jobs at the Giga factory, bringing fresh ideas and updated knowledge straight from the classroom to the production floor. It's a system designed to refresh itself constantly, without relying on outdated methods or outsourced expertise.